Oh man, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, I know we'll get started soon as I see a viewer. No, I'm really not trying to mess up anybody's Saturday, but I just like to talk about a lot of things that people are afraid to talk about, and it's hard for a lot of people to talk about actually. But we're gonna try to talk about it today. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here or whatever, but we're gonna try to get through it. I want to talk about people dealing with grieving the loss of somebody that they really love. Like for me, and I'm just gonna talk about how I did it because it's hard to tell anybody how to grieve. You know what I mean? So and it affects everybody different. I know for me, I learned as a child that dying is a part of living. You know what I mean? I found it out when I think the first person that we lost that I can remember in our family was my aunt. And but I was real small then and they stayed in the country and all that. So, they had them old country funerals and all that and everybody showed up and everybody talked about how the person was while they was here and all the good they done and all that. And it kind of caught me by surprise, but I learned that everybody has a time that they gonna leave here. You know what I mean? Even me. And once I understood that death is a part of living, I had to find a way to deal with it. You know what I mean? And then I think the second person we lost was one of my uncles. You know what I mean? One of my dad's brothers. You know what I mean? And I seen it different because this time it was up here in Atlanta, so it was a kind of different vibe. And I was like, okay, so now I see that some that we really gonna have to deal with. So for me, I just started trying to make memories with everybody. You know what I mean? Because it don't matter how much you grieve, it don't matter how much crying you do, it don't matter how much you can't let it go, it's not gonna bring them back. So I just try to really concentrate on the memories. You know what I mean? Like a couple of years ago, a lot of deaths was happening in our family. You know what I mean? Like 2012, I lost my first nephew. 2014, my mama passed, and well, in October 2014, my mama passed. Um, then I think it was October or November of 2014. Then her mother passed like a month and a half later in the beginning of 2015. Then my brother had a stroke in late 2015. Then my daddy passed in 2016. Then my brother, nephew, and a cousin passed in 2019. So we went through a tough spell of dealing with losses. You know what I mean? So it 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 really helped me because, like I said, I concentrate on the memories. Like even yesterday, like before my brother and my mother passed, I would have never put any pictures of when we were kids and all that. I would have never done that. But when my brother passed, that's how it helped me to deal with it. Like when he passed, it was the first time I ever spoke at a funeral. You know what I mean? But that's what helped me. You know what I mean? I talked about some of the times we had growing up when we was in school, and how nobody thought that we liked each other. But like I told him, I was his biggest fan. You know what I mean? Like he showed me the way. You know what I mean? So, and then I seen what really bothered me was when my mother passed, and I didn't understand how a lot of her siblings came to her funeral, and they was, of course, they was grieving, they were doing all the crying and all that, and I'm like, okay, but where were y'all when she was in the nursing home for 5 years? You know what I mean? Like sometimes if you really tell the people that you care about how you actually feel about them, it might give them a little more drive to want to be here longer. You know what I mean? Like it really bothered me that when I seen my aunts and uncles really, oh, we miss you, Ruby. Yeah, but okay, she was in the nursing home for 5 years. Y'all wouldn't even come see her once a year. You know what I mean? And hey, man, I felt the way about that. You know what I mean? So, like I say, people deal with stuff different. You know what I mean? But me, I can't keep going through the process of reliving the fact that you're gone. You know what I mean? That's why I rather concentrate on the memories, and I try to make memories with everybody. Like the people that really know me, they know that it's something I done did, said, or we done did together, or something that done happened that they can talk about that should help them through if something do happen to me. You know what I mean? Like just me talking about my brother, you know what I mean, helped me get through it. You know what I mean? Just talking about the fun times I had. Like yesterday was my mother's birthday. What helped me was eating the food that she would love to eat. You know what I mean? Just like simple shrimp. That was her favorite dish, some shrimp. You know what I mean? Just reliving the stuff that I used to do with her, that I knew that she used to do, or like, hey man, that's what helped me. You know what I mean? So, but and then like I a lot of people talk to me. You know what I mean? So just yesterday, somebody called me and told me that their boyfriend had passed away 2 years ago, and it took her 2 years to admit that he had passed away. I'm like, hey man, that's hard, but hey, you can't hold on to it. You know what I mean? You have to accept it, even though we don't want to accept it, but you have to accept it so you can move on. You know what I mean? And if you don't concentrate on the loss, I think you'll be a whole lot better off, because the more you concentrate on the loss, the more you reminding yourself of they're not there. You know what I mean? Like when my cousins passed that used to be in and out of jail all the time, when they first passed away, I just related it to they went back to jail. You know what I mean? And after a couple of years, I was able to say that they had passed away. You know what I mean? So, like I say, it's you can't tell people how to grieve, and then if you don't know what to say, just be a listening ear. And people tell you, hey man, I really don't know what to say. Okay, well then don't say shit. Just listen. Sometimes people just need to vent and get it out. They don't need your opinion. They don't need your advice or nothing. They just need a listening ear. And I know everybody is very opinionated now. So it's hard for you to keep your opinion to yourself because everybody want to be heard. But sometimes it's best to sit back and not be heard. You know what I mean? I don't mind being in the background somewhere. I don't mind being in the background or helping people, and like I've never been starving for attention. You know what I mean? So be there for them and just listen, man, or get them to try to get their mind off of it. Most people like to stay busy, like I have to stay busy. But you know, that helps a little bit, but that's not the answer either. And see, the worst part about losing somebody is not the process up to the funeral, it's that Monday after the funeral, when everybody get back to their normal life. That's when it's really gonna hit you, because now everybody not there. You might have one or two people that stick around for a couple of more days, but hey man, life goes on. You know what I mean? So hey, and it's like I say, it's you can't tell nobody how to do it. I just try to be there for them when they go through it. You know what I mean? Whether it's they want my advice and I let them tell me they want my advice or something. I don't just offer my advice. Because like I said, a lot of time people just want you to listen, man. They need somebody that they feel like they can talk to. And to me, that's a badge of honor. When somebody feel like they can come and be personal with you and tell you the shit that they going through, to me, that's a badge of honor. You know what I mean? That's why I think people love to talk to me, because I have a unique way of getting you to see shit in a different light. It'd be the same thing, but I can make you laugh about the same thing that make you cry. You just have to look at it in a different light. You know what I mean? How I do it, I don't know. I never understood it, but because like I said, I've been like this my whole life. Like now, if something happened in our family, hey man, my thing is, hey man, as long as my sister, hey, I'm good. You know what I mean? Because that's my concern, my sister. Because my sister, and I tell people this all the time, she the one person I know that was close to everybody in our family, from my aunts and uncles, the grandmothers on both sides, grandfathers on both sides, to younger cousins. Everybody was crazy about her. So I know when we lost our parents and my brother, because all they was all real close. I know it affected her a lot more. Well, it affected me real bad too, but I knew I could deal with it, because for me, all I need is some peace and quiet. I need to get away from everybody and get some time to myself, and you know what I mean, do whatever grieving I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it behind the scenes. And hey man, at the funeral, hey man, you all right? Yeah, I'm straight, man. Long as Kim's straight, I'm good. You know what I mean? So, but I think I'm built for certain shit. You know what I mean? That I don't think everybody built for. That's why it don't bother me to talk to people about their situation, because I'm not gonna let it affect me like it affect most other people. Like people try to take on other people's problems. You can't do that. You got enough of your own. You know what I mean? But I know how to talk to somebody and not let it affect my world or what I got going on. So, you know, man, and it's hard to do, man. It ain't no easy answer. It ain't no perfect way to do nothing. And that's a lot of people' problem. Stop trying to be perfect. It's nothing wrong with making mistakes. The problem is to not learn from your mistake and keep making the same damn mistake. That's where the problem come in. You know what I mean? So, hey man, and times are getting worse, man. They're not getting better. Like I don't really understand what's going on and how people think they're gonna make it. You know what I mean? Because shit done changed so much, and it's so don't nothing mean nothing to nobody no more. Manners, respect, nobody respect love, money. People don't respect nothing. I don't get it. And then when somebody leave, you be crying like you didn't know this. And see, what I found out, what I missed the most when I was a comedian and I traveled so much, was spending time with my family. You know what I mean? That's really what mean the most to me. Like I'm a hustler. I've been a hustler all my life. I'm always make money. You know what I mean? Whether I look like it or not, I promise you, I'm always be straight. You know what I mean? But hey, man, I don't know. It's a different world, man. It really is. So if you don't have anybody you can talk to, You can call me or hit me in my DM and talk. And I'm gonna tell you about me now. I like to talk. I'm not gonna text a whole conversation with you. You have to pick up that phone and call me, or I'll come and see you, or whatever. But the texting, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be on here all day to mess up anybody's Saturday. I just felt like some need to be said about dealing with grief, man, because I get a lot of phone calls, man, when people dealing with shit, and I mean a lot of times they don't know how to move on. You know what I mean? And it's no one answer to nothing. You know what I mean? It affect everybody different. Everybody deal with shit different. So you got to find out the best way for you. You know what I mean? And like for me, I concentrate on memories. I try to make memories with everybody. You know what I mean? It might sound crazy, it might sound simple, but that's what I do. That's how I deal with it. I'm not gonna come. I'm not gonna come and hang out with you every year and go by the graveyard every year. I'm not gonna do that with you. Now, what I will do with you, we can go and sit down and have a dinner, or we can go eat somewhere for their birthday or something like that, or if you need to talk or something. Because I'm not gonna go through all the morning with you. I'm gonna try to get you away from that because you have to move on. You know what I mean? And I know it take a lot, and it affect people different. It some people it take a little longer, but you got to be able to move on because life don't stop. You know what I mean? So and the person that you grieving over, they wouldn't want your life to stop. They wouldn't want you to be feeling miserable for them. You know what I mean? So don't do it to yourself. What's happening, pimp? Hey man, I all you gotta do is order, pimp. I'm waiting on some orders, so let me know, pimp. I love to cook, so it don't bother me. But I'm not gonna take any more of y'all time. I appreciate y'all for stopping in and be willing to listen, if not even have a conversation about some of the difficult stuff that we have to deal with, man, as grown people. Hey man, and as children, we don't know this is what we in store for. We all try to rush and get grown. You know what I mean? But hey man, when you get grown, ain't no going backwards. You got to be able to deal with life, man, and learn what life is about. Don't just go through life and keep doing the same things and keep making the same mistakes. Pay attention to what you're doing, and that's the best way for you to teach your child how to deal with life. And life is a whole lot different than it was when we grew up. So you gotta stay on point with this, because man, this technology, hey man, this shit crazy. They'll teach a child anything in school. So hey man, you gotta be on top of that. You know what I mean? And hopefully we'll get back to being a better place. Hopefully. You know what I mean? But hey man, it's not looking good. I ain't lost hope, but it's not looking good because it's getting worse by the day. And what I do know, I appreciate it, Pimp. What I do know is shit has to hit rock bottom before it bounce back and start getting better. So, hey man, get yourself ready. Prepare yourself. Don't wait till something hits you and then you try to get ready. Now, get yourself ready. I call it preventive maintenance. Like when I found out my mama had dementia and I knew it wasn't a cure for it, I started preparing myself that hey, it ain't no cure for this. She gonna pass away one day. You know what I mean? When Fred got sick and he was going through he had that stroke and he had a major stroke, and they said then that it was a 95% chance that he wouldn't have been here. Like he really don't supposed to even be here. So once I found that out, hey man, I started preparing for, you know what I mean, that hey, it ain't gonna be the same. And hey, so hey man, don't when you find out what's going on, start preparing yourself for it. You know what I mean? Don't act like it ain't gonna happen or pretending that it's gonna get better when they tell you it's not a cure. Hey, pimp. Of course you pray, but hey, pimp. Sometimes we find out about shit when it's too late. You know what I mean? So hey man, y'all be careful out there. Hey man, love on who love you and make sure you take care of your people, man. and be safe out there. Gone.